Hey guys, my name's Dan Janoff. I'm the creator of Intelligent Wrestling Talk on Facebook, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of How Dan Would Book. It's where I take the upcoming pay-per-view and show you how I would book it. It may not be the way it all goes down, but it's what I feel would be best going forward. For this one, it's going to be Smackdown Live's first exclusive pay-per-view, Backlash. The first match is going to be for the Smackdown Women's Championship in a six-pack challenge. It's going to be between Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Natalya, and Nikki Bella. There are tons of different ways you can go about booking this. You could have someone like Alexa come out on top and then feud with Becky. You could have Carmella take it and continue her feud with Nikki Bella. But I feel like the best option here is putting the belt on Becky Lynch. She's still yet to win a pay-per-view match since getting called up to the main roster. Plus, she was the first woman picked by SmackDown. She's done a lot, and she certainly deserves it. Plus, you can have more options with her as champion. You could, like I said, have her feud with Alexa, or even reignite her feud with Natalya. Then on the side, you can continue the feud between Nikki and Carmella, because I feel like Nikki is a big enough star to where that feud doesn't necessarily need the title. Another way you can go about doing it is giving the belt to Naomi. She's been up there longer than Becky has. She's certainly paid her dues. She's incredibly athletic. Really underrated athletic. But I'm going to stick with Becky Lynch here. Next, I'm going to be talking about the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We're nearing the end of the tournament, and we saw what happened to American Alpha. They're out, they're gone. And this is smart because with Rhino and Heath Slater becoming more and more over with the fans, you don't want to put a team like American Alpha in that situation. So what they decided to do was set up a match between the Usos and the Hype Bros to determine who's going to be facing Rhino and Heath Slater. And since the Hype Bros have already faced them, and with the Usos' recent heel turn, it would be perfect to have the Usos win, so that will set up the heel versus face match. From there, I'd have the Usos win by some sort of underhanded means, just continue to stockpile heat on these guys. Maybe that will set up another match between these two teams later on, because I feel like Heath's storyline with getting his contract has more legs to it and is something they can continue. Next is the Intercontinental Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. And this match was very curious to me. Dolph just got done wrestling for the world title and now all of a sudden is thrown back into a feud with The Miz. He's been feuding with this guy on and off for a while, and it's over the same title no less. After The Miz's promo that he cut on Bryan, and then really building up Miz being a coward, I think you continue to do this. I think you have him win by cowardly means. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need the heat, but it certainly makes sense for his character to go over on Dolph Ziggler and retain his Intercontinental Championship. Next is going to be Randy Orton taking on Bray Wyatt. Personally, I love to see these two team up. I just feel like their personality just mesh so well together. But that's not what this is about. This is a difficult one for me because it's hard for a guy as established as Randy to lose back-to-back pay-per-views, and it's hard for a guy like Bray to lose yet another feud. With both of those being said, I feel like Bray needs this a lot more. He essentially is on his own now, and he needs to finally be allowed to be the monster heel that he is. And the only real way for him to do that is with wins. It's something he doesn't get very often, and let's face it, he needs it here. And it's not like this would be a one-and-done feud. This is something they can continue for a while. Maybe Bray hurts Randy. Maybe Randy is still affected from his match versus Brock Lesnar. Continue to build upon that. Maybe Randy lost an edge after losing to Brock Lesnar, which is why he would lose to Bray Wyatt. The last match on the pay-per-view is going to be for the World Championship between AJ Styles taking on Dean Ambrose. Fortunately, Dean's title reign hasn't been that great since he's retained his title against both Rollins and Reigns, though that could really be blamed on the booking at SummerSlam, and something like that really wasn't his fault. But with the way they booked AJ Styles against Cena, with how there was nothing a guy like Cena could do against AJ to put him away. Normally I would say the champion should be able to do that, but it's John Cena. aka Big Match Sean, aka the 15-time world champion, aka blah 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 blah. I know that Dean said that it's not going to be a wrestling match, but you still need to finish off your opponent with a wrestling move. And considering AJ kicked out of a super AA from the top rope, not many people can say that they've done that. I don't see Dean putting him away with the Dirty Deeds. So I say AJ Styles continues that momentum and walks out the champion. They could also continue this feud maybe for another month or two. Plus, I'm really a huge fan of the idea of having a former New Japan star being an NXT champion, a former ROH star being the Universal champion, and a former TNA star being the world champion. Think about that. Anyway, that is how I would book Backlash. If you agree, give me a like. If not, how would you do it differently? Subscribe for more videos in the future. Also, if you aren't a part of Intelligent Wrestling Talk on Facebook and consider yourself an Intelligent Wrestling fan, head on over and join us. The link will be in the description below. With that being said, I'd like for you all to remember that there's only one way to talk wrestling, and that's intelligently.